Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. You could have been any place else in the world, and guess what? It's not too late. Get on out of here. Go and spend some time with some quality people. Wait, I did that wrong. Oh, that's not right. Okay, you know what? I messed that up. See what I get for trying to multitask? So I'm going to leave that there for now. But I need to get the whole slide going. Okay, Connie Bomber. Hey, Connie Bomber. Oh, I got some news for you guys. Well, before there was the itinerary for Meghan, at least for 2 days. But now I got the information for Harry's time in the land of Oz. So let me do that. And I'm going to get, no, I don't need that. I got to get rid of this one. All right. Heather Stroud, thank you so much for being here. Carol Lund, Rodney Jackson, Karen Murdoch, Sam, is that right? And who else is here? This Black Girl's Life. Sequoia Farms is back. Hey, Sequoia Farms. Hazel Jones. Me and Hazel. Hazel Jones. Hazel Jones. Hazel Jones. Hazel Jones. We got a thing going on. Dragon Kitty and Willie. Oh man, I'm in a silly happy mood. This whole thing with the Sussexes going to Australia, it's like the best thing that's happened to me since the Sussexes going to, I don't know, Colombia. Where else did they go? Um, and to Nigeria. I love when they do their little pseudo, quasi, whatever they call it, type of royal tours. It really isn't a royal tour, but the tabloids, they do that because there's some condescending, you know what, a-holes. Um, pardon my language. Amelia Rodriguez, thank you for being here. Hey, Big Mama. Okay. All right. Enough of that. I'm going to get going here. So join global thoughts leaders as they share powerful insight and expertise on mental health and workplace well-being, alongside international voices like Amy Cuddy, PhD. We'll be welcoming a dynamic lineup of Australian speakers who will bring powerful local perspectives to the conversation. From government, defense, education, emergency services, technology, health and safety, construction, and sport, to individuals with lived that is experiences and passionate mental health ambassadors. These change makers represent the full spectrum of our community. Together, these voices will spark conversations that challenge, inspire, and drive lasting change. Doesn't that sound exciting? I know. Well, the Psychosocial Workplace Safety Summit, and that is April 15th through the 16th. Wait a minute. Does that mean that Harry and Meghan won't be in the same place at the same time? Let me take a look. Let me take a look. Well, you know what? That would make sense though, because the other thing is for ladies. So, um, let me take a look at Meghan's itinerary. Um. Okay, so that will be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 17th through the 19th. And for Harry, oh wait, oh, oh. Oh, you know what? I thought you guys could see that, but you can't, can you? Hold on a second. Let me do this. There we go. I brought up the slides instead of the actual. Oh, well. Okay, now I'm going to do it where everybody can see it. Okay. So we got this, and we just want to go to here. No, not there. To here. Nope. All right. So Sunday, all right, Friday the 17th through Sunday the 19th, right? And Harry's thing is from the 15th through the 16th. So they will have different schedules. His is the 15th through the 16th, so that's the 2 days. And then Meghan's, oh, wait, there we go, is the 17th, 18th, and 19th. Doesn't mean that Harry's going to be there. He may be someplace else. But don't worry, they are going to have some time when the two of them will be together. But it looks like they're all both doing their separate things, which is okay. Which is okay. So everybody got that? Did you write that down? It's the 15th and the 16th of April for Harry, and then the 17th through the 19th for Meghan. So there is the gala dinner. Maybe Harry will show up for that. Maybe not. We'll see. But yeah, this is pretty exciting. Isn't this exciting? I'm excited. This is so cool. This is so cool. I cannot wait. So yeah, that's what they have for our Prince Harry. And aside from that, I'm going to show you some of the other speakers. I have no idea who these people are, but just the same, I'm going to share them with you. So we got Dr. Amy Cuddy. And was that Jelena Dovic? No, Dokic. Is it Dokic? Dokic. Okay. Dokic. All right. And who else do we have here? Hugh Van Kylenberg. And then Professor Melinda Edwards, Alan Sparks, CB, OAM, VA, and FRSN, former Deputy Commissioner, North Southwest something Mental Health Commission. All right. All right. So, yeah, I don't know any of these other people, but wait, there's a few more. There's these people. And none of them look familiar, but we will find out. Got Amy Salmon. I hate to call her Salmon. So, Amy Salmon, Jonathan Moran, Wayne Phillips, David Hazelhurst, Sarah Tedesco, Jillian Fox, nope, Carrie Leeson, Jamie Gannon, and is that Sean Ross Smith? None of these people look familiar, but that's okay. Harry is there, and I'm only want to see what parts he plays. But other than that, I'm sure they're all nice people. Oh, Helena Domicile was a tennis sports star. Okay. Okay, thank you so much for that. Let's see, Meghan in Sydney and Harry in Melbourne. Oh, I didn't know. Thank you so much for letting me know that. So Meghan will be in Sydney and Harry will be in Melbourne. Which one is the capital? So Sydney's not the capital. Is it Melbourne? I never knew which one. Well, I think I've heard it and then I just forgot. But which is the capital? It's Melbourne, right? I know Ottawa is the capital of Canada, which is interesting because there's a town called Ottawa, Illinois. Oh, Cambria. That's right. Cambria. Thank you so much for that. All right. You know, I tell you, Oprah Winfrey loves it in Australia. She was like, I guess she probably still is like a really, I guess, uh, famous, important, big name, favorite person, something like that. But yeah, Oprah loves Australia. Now, you know what I did not know about Australia? I didn't know that there were so many Greek people there. I used to belong to I guess you call it um, it was like a cultural exchange, right? And so because of that, I met a lot of people from a lot of places. And I've played host to, I want to say, two people from Australia. And it was because of that I found out that there was a very large Greek population in Australia. Never knew that. More Greeks in Melbourne than there are in Athens. Okay. Okay. I've actually seen a movie one time that was because I used to love to rent the foreign movies when I would um, rent from the video store. And one of them was about a Greek family in Australia. So that really just kind of confirmed to me. I'm like, oh, yeah, yeah, there is a lot of Greek people there. So that's interesting. I didn't know it was as many as what you just said, but that is very cool. Very cool. All right. Yeah, Australia, I guess it's a lot like California. You always think blonde hair, blue eyes. That is like the archetype for California. You always think blonde and blue. Okay. So again, Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex. Prince Harry has dedicated his life to service and uplifting communities while emphasizing the importance of our collective mental health in his philanthropic and advocacy work globally. So that's what we're expecting is Harry for those 2 days. It is going to be fantastic. I just cannot wait for the photos. And listen, you guys, I got to figure out what the hours are so I'll know what time to come on. So you know how I like to do. We will discover the photos together as they pour out. We're gonna crack through them as fast as possible. Oh man, I am genuinely excited. I'm like a little kid. I am genuinely excited. It's like I'm waiting for Christmas. Let me see. We have so many different nationalities. That makes it so special. You know what? Amen to that. Amen to that. I love the whole idea of diversity, or as they say, the melting pot. That makes life so much more interesting. Oh, it's 5:10 p.m. here on Wednesday. Oh, okay. And for me, it's 1:11 a.m. Wednesday. Wait a minute. How is it Wednesday already? Did somebody roofie me? Why is this not Tuesday? That is so strange. I don't know why I thought yesterday was Monday. Oh my goodness. Oh, Something is wrong. Why did I think yesterday was Monday? Oh, well. And of course, we know that Meghan is going to do a podcast with Gemma O'Neill. Gemma is excited. Matter of fact, just for fun, let's hear her excitement again, shall we? Let's hear her excitement. But anyway, we have Harry's itinerary, or at least part of it. We have Meghan's itinerary, or at least part of it. So we are getting there. We are so getting there. Oh, I need a new phone. My battery keeps dying out on me. Um. Mm, 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 mm. I think after 3 years, the batteries just go. You know what I mean? 3 years, and then you got to get another phone or get another battery. Okay. Are you ready? Here we go.
One of the speakers that will be joining us in person.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Gemma.
One of the speakers that will be joining us in person on the weekend, I am like beside myself about, because I have admired this woman and what she has endured, how she's risen above it, and how she has demonstrated how a woman can be pushed down and she can still rise. And that person is Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. And I can't believe I'm even saying those words. There's no one more shocked than me, because I know what you're all thinking, because I'm thinking the same thing, which is, how has Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, this incredible woman, gone from Oprah to talking on stage with just little old me, Gemma, in Sydney? So I'm going to explain how this has come about, because I think it's really important that you guys understand how this opportunity has come for our community. One of the speakers that will be...
Do you hear the excitement in her voice? Is it possible that she's more excited than I am? Can you hear it? Oh, man. And listen, I do not want you all to assume that my excitement is in any way born out of the reality that the derangers are going to just, their heads are going to explode. Their heads are literally going to explode. That they are going to try to impale themselves on the first sharp object they can find. Believe me, that has not entered my mind at all. that that they are going to go through a pack of cigarettes, probably 2 packs a day, until this trip is over. That has not entered my mind. I'm not thinking about those people that much. I wonder if William is somewhere saying, but Australia is my territory. You know how he said to Harry, but Africa is mine? But Australia is mine. It is a little awkward in that you know that the Prince of Wales is supposed to make a trip to Australia. Now, William had an opportunity to go to cheer on that women's football team. Was it football? And he chose to stay home because he said that it was, he couldn't have made it for the time or something like that. Although somebody else of note made it, he was supposed to be there as a president of whatever sport to cheer them on, and he didn't go. He was neglectful, he was rude and inconsiderate, and he missed out on it, and they dragged him for that. This is why the monarchy is in trouble, because they're never, well, actually, he's never where he's supposed to be. Let me see here. Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much for that, T Mac. Oh, let me see. Sadly, Sydney and Melbourne are on the other side of the country to me. Oh no. Oh no. I'm so sorry. Is it like a big hassle to travel, or it just, you don't have the time support or something like that? I mean, I can understand them. It's maybe too expensive, too much trouble. Maybe you got school or work or something like that. Hey, cookies and cream. Okay. Oh, thank you so much for that. All right. So again, her best life retreat with Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Um, Also, let me just one more time share this with you. I'm going to share it again anyway, but this is the resort. I think it's the Hotel Intercontinental. That is one of the twin rooms that you can share. If you bring a guest or whatever. And that is the beautiful sunset. Isn't that enchanting? Okay. You know what else? I've never seen this photo. I've never seen this photo. This has probably been in the works for a while. They have probably been working on the details of this for some time. And gosh, I hope that retreat sells out. Please let it sell out. Gosh, I hope it sells out. It'd be great. I do not want any hiccups whatsoever. So I do hope it sells out. And I cannot wait to see the photos that come out of that. And I hope that they have another one of those photo ops on the steps there. Really enjoyed that one. But we're going to hear a lot. I mean, we have like a month. It's going to be over a month before they show up. So there is going to be a whole month of building suspense, a whole month to sell out the engagement and everything. So it's going to be okay. It is going to be perfect. I'm not worried at all. It's going to be a huge success. I mean, after all, that's Harry and Meghan. People love them. Look at the crowd they had when they went there back in 2018. Look at that. Oh, you mean when they carried those big giant canoes up the step? She had those shoes that looked like a couple of canoes. Camilla's shoes looked like somebody hollowed out some tree trunks. Oh lordy. Now, Amanda Platell, this is the article that she really got this wrong. And this is before the itinerary came out. Amanda Platell was trying to sow the seeds of destruction. The reason I fear Harry and Meghan are really heading to Australia, the pain it will cause Charles and William. Now, she may have gotten that right. And why they face a bona fide, I'm sorry, a bonfire of resentment, a bonfire of resentment. I do believe that she's right about that. There will be some resentment, and especially from William, because Charles has already made his obligatory trip as king to Australia. Now, if I'm correct, I believe Amanda Platell is an Australian. She wasn't really condemning the Sussexes so much with this article, but she's just saying her opinion about it. But I'll let you decide whether or not it was harmless. And by the way, the article is behind a paywall, but we have ways to work our way around that. So, oh, let me see here. Harlan Baker says, Baron, blonde hair, blue eyed Californians is a Hollywood myth. California was part of Mexico. It's more Mexican named cities, towns, and streets. Greek land grab in Australia mirrored European land grab in America. Thank you very much. And that is absolutely correct. Um, California, Texas, New Mexico, what else? Nevada, Arizona, all of that was part of Mexico. And it was ripped away from them by the Americans in what they referred to as manifest destiny, from sea to shining sea. That is very true. I actually even have a map. I have a map that shows the old borders. Let me see if I can find that. Uh, just in case there's anyone who has never seen it before. But yes, I have a map that shows the old borders of Texas. And I believe it was the actress, the one from, what is that show? Um, was it Desperate Housewives? She said, we didn't cross the border crossed us. Right? That's what she says. She said, we didn't cross the border crossed us. Okay, I don't see it, but it is a really interesting map. But whenever I find it, I will share it with you. But it shows the old um, Mexican border. Oh, found it. Found it. See that? Mexican territory seized by the U.S. in 1848. Look at how big Mexico would have been if not for that. Now, Texas was not always part of the United States as we know it, obviously, but Texas was the biggest state for a long time until Alaska. And according to, um, I believe it's the Texas Constitution, and of course, the admittance of Texas into the United States, they can divide into 5 states if they're, if the people of Texas chooses, they can divide into 5 states. People were concerned by the massive size of Texas. And so they're the only state that I know of that has that option that they can subdivide it into more than one state. So they could actually become 5 states. But yeah, that is the old Texas border. And that is why the southwest part of the country, you have so many Spanish names. And if you go to the Midwest, you have a lot of French names from, Michigan all the way down to Louisiana because of the fact that that was part of French territory there. So there you go. Thank you, Harlan Baker. All right. So it says here, oh, yeah. It says here, Harry and Meghan have announced that they will be embarking on a pseudo, now right there, she throwing shade, a pseudo royal tour of Australia in mid-April. But do the Sussexes realize they might be heading for a blunder down under? You know, you got to make it rhyme. Their last trip to Oz was in 2018 when the newly married Sussexes, who had announced that they were pregnant with their first child the day before touching down. Actually, the announcement was made after they arrived, but she should know that. She's a reporter, right? The family knew, but they didn't announce it to the world until they got to Australia. I hate when I have to correct these people. Anyway, before touching down, they're welcomed. They were welcomed by a cheering monarchist waving Union Jack flags and throwing kangaroo paws, flowers, and roses in their path. But they think this trip will be anything like those heady days. They are in for a rude awakening. Okay, listen, this is not a royal tour. And yes, I understand she's just looking for engagement. She just needs something to write about and something to complain about. But I just want to set the record straight. This is not for the royal family. This is not for King Charles. This is not for the British government. This is Harry and Meghan's philanthropy, their philanthropic pursuits, their humanitarian work. That's what this is for. This is the platforms that they have built for themselves. So that is what they're doing. They are promoting their causes. That's it. Whether it's lifestyle, whether it's health and well being, mental health, it has nothing to do with the UK. So this dire claim that she's making in no way reflects the reality of it. Okay. But also, when she wrote this, I'm pretty sure that she was not privy to their itinerary. Okay. So, even before they arrive, questions are already being asked about why non royals, now that's an insult, they are not non royals, why non royals, Meghan and Harry, are visiting their country when the last time they saw King Charles and Queen Camilla, the Queen consort, was 2 years ago. And Prince William and Princess Catherine, not since 2014. Well, that's because Willie and Katie are lazy and they don't want to go back to Australia. That's it. They don't want to go back there. If they had Wimbledon in Australia, Kate would go. If they had any sport where men were sweating and panting and bumping into each other, William would go. If they don't have that, then Willie and Kitty are not interested. William and Kate goes any place where there's sweaty, athletic men. Am I right about that? So unless you want to lure them to Australia with the muscular, healthy, toned, fit, lean, hairy bodies of a male athlete, they ain't going. That's it. They're not going. You have to have what they want. You have to give them what they want. Kate and William are only available when there are ideally fit, healthy men around. But if you don't have that, they're not going. Any pulled pork sandwich will do. But if there aren't any pulled pork sandwiches for Willie, he's not going. What part of that they get? They're not interested in Australia unless you give them what they want. So anyway, oh man. Oh, the shade. Oh, the shade. All right. Where the boys are, that's where you'll find me. Who sang that song? Where the boys are, that's where you'll find me. Where the boys are. Connie Francis. That's who sang that. Connie Francis. Oh, that was a movie back in 1960. You mean to tell me Neil Sedaka wrote that song? How come that doesn't surprise me? Where the boys are, someone waits for me. A smiling face, a warm embrace, two arms to hold me tenderly. Where the boys are, my true love will be. He's walking down some street in town, and I know he's looking for me. That's Willie, where the boys are. Anyway, I digress. I digress. Let me get back on track. So much for the special relationship with their head and future head of states. So she's really, listen, she's really calling out Charles and William for not returning often enough. So, so much for the special relationship between their head and future head of state. Indeed, constitutional experts in Oz predict Harry and Meghan's visit will provide a lightning rod for Australian Republicans, igniting further debate about whether King Charles should remain their head of state, or, shockingly, whether they need one at all. Inevitable, inevitable questions are being asked about why there haven't been more frequent visits by senior members of the royal family. With the king's ill health and Kate's recovery from cancer, the spotlight has been thrown on Prince William. Some are rudely asking online, does William ever want to be our next head of state or not? Now, see, I'm not aware of anything like that. I don't know how true it is, but apparently, and again, this has nothing to do with Harry and Meghan, and this is not a royal tour. Apparently, there have been murmuring about the fact that the royal family seems to neglect Australia. They did this to themselves. Harry and Meghan were the president and vice president of the Commonwealth. Their goal was to visit every Commonwealth realm and country. Queen Elizabeth handpicked them for the task, because of their popularity. Do they not understand that they have really shot themselves in the foot by chasing the Sussexes away and also by refusing the half in, half out? Let me remind you all of this. Some of you all know better than I do. Harry said that they would pay for their travel themselves. He offered to pay for it. It wouldn't have even cost the British taxpayers, it would have cost little or nothing. They were offering to pay for it themselves. And they refused. No half in, no half out. I promise you, if you were to ask people today, would you rather a royal family go on these visits without any cost to the taxpayer, or would you rather we pay for everything? What do you think people are going to say? If you said, would you rather put that money into the NHS? Would you rather put that money into other things besides the coffers of the uber rich royal family? What do you think they're going to say? Now, of course, before you can even get the question out, the tabloid media will try to confuse people and create some hostility. But the point is, the Commonwealth has been ignored by the so-called working royals. They send Eddie and Sophie to places, in my opinion, that doesn't really make much sense. I don't know why the government does not put them, especially those two, they should put them on like a 6-month tour. They should just send them out there. I mean, their kids are grown, but they really do need to represent represent the crown in these places, preferably William and Kate. But you know they're just not going to do that. They are in trouble. And I do have something. One of the squaddies sent me something to my inbox. Please stay tuned for that because I do have another person, another voice that you're going to hear them say the same thing. The royal family is in a lot of trouble. They are in a death spiral. They are literally having a drink at the Last Chance Saloon. So this article really is not so much condemning the Sussexes. What it is something to remind people that we do have a king that is a head of state that rarely shows up, has only been there one time. And we do have a uh, Prince of Wales, a future king, that just does not seem to give a damn. If William really wanted to go to Australia, he could just go. And I wouldn't be surprised if they don't make plans immediately, seeing that the Sussexes are going. And there's no way that the Sussexes put this together without speaking to Clarence House. So, and the government. I mean, they got to know that they're going. This is way too important for them to be left out. Other questions, quite understandably, what? I'm sorry, what did I leave off? Um, does William even want to be our next king or head of state or not? Other questions, quite understandably, what relevance either Charles or William has to a modern Australia when they live half a world away? It was surely not the Sussexes' intentions to cause discomfort to Charles or William. Let me say that one more time because this is Amanda Platell. It surely was not the Sussexes' intention to cause discomfort for Charles or William. Harry is there to further his involvement with the armed forces and veteran communities for his admirable Invictus Games initiative. Now, that was very nice of her. There are reports that Meghan is due to appear as a guest on her Best Life podcast, launched and co hosted by Aussie radio star Jackie O. Henderson. Perhaps she's looking to promote her As Ever lifestyle brand now her Netflix deal is over. Okay, shade right there. That is shade. First of all, the Netflix deal is not over. Okay, you know what? I take that back. The part about the as ever, yeah, that's over. So, okay, no shade there. I thought she was talking about the entire Netflix, first look thing, but no, no, no. Okay, okay, I get it. She's saying that Meghan and Netflix are no longer doing you know, the as ever. Okay, so no shade there. No shade there. I take that back. She's looking to promote her as ever lifestyle. Well, anyway, that may not be true. It may even be true. We don't know. It may come up at some point during the visit. We'll see. But according to their spokesperson, that is not the purpose of this trip. So I'm going to say that's slightly shady. Um, okay, so she says, but I fear what the Sussexes don't realize is that the Australia they visited in 2018 is no longer a photo op destination for royals or indeed non royals, which of course they are not. I was, why the, you know what? I just slammed my fist on the table. I was about to cuss. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You could say non working royal if you want to, but there is nothing about Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, who is a princess of the realm. There's no such thing as them being non royal. So I'm back to, yeah, she being shady. Anyway, to further their interest in and causes to monetize themselves, a little shade there. And if they're expecting locals to be gushingly grateful, they've got another thing coming. Well, you know what? We don't know if that's the case or not. We'll see when they get there. Because the reality is that the Aussie attitude toward the royal family has changed dramatically in the past 8 years. I wonder why. I wonder why. Is it because of all the nastiness and the leaking and the briefing and all the infighting, all the plotting and scheming against one another? Maybe that's why. It ain't got nothing to do with the Sussexes. When the late Queen was alive, she had an 83% approval rating among Australians, but her death only highlighting the now ferocious debate whether monarchists or Republicans, one which will flare up like an Aussie Barbie with a squirt of lighter fuel when the Sussexes arrive. Charles' approval rating is at 59%, only at 59%. That's Charles' approval rating, compared to his mother, who had an approval of 83%. Hell, I think 59% is too good for him. The Sussexes, as working royals, once enjoyed such approval in Oz that they were feared it would eclipse that of Prince William and Princess Catherine. But that was before they quit for sunnier shores in California. They have broken two golden Aussie rules: no snitching and no whinging. Well, if that's the case, why would they ever accept William? Because that's what he does. He's a snitch and he's constantly whinging about everything that happened to him. He's whinging about how Kate's cancer affected him. He has the nerves to complain about somebody else's illness. As a matter of fact, not just Kate's cancer, but Charles' cancer. William has given interviews where he has been whinging bitching and complaining about other people's illnesses. Okay? So when it comes to snitching, when it comes to whinging, William is an award-winning snitch and whinger. Award-winning. He has a black belt in whinging and snitching. So um, get it right. Get it right. Anyway, she says, since leaving the royal family, and will not be embraced as they once were, their popularity has plummeted, with Meghan rating at 55%. Is that just 4% under King Charles III? Is that just 4% under King Charles III? And Harry's at 40%. Wait a minute. Meghan has a 55% unfavorable rating, and Harry's at 40%. Okay. So, what they perhaps haven't taken on board, as I have on my frequent trips back to Australia, is that all of that reverence for the royals, so ingrained in both me and my parents' generation, has been all but extinguished. Few 6-month pregnant women these days would run 5 blocks in 40 degrees Celsius heat to catch a glimpse of the Queen passing by in her carriage, as my mom did. Well, your mama's stupid. Let me see. What world has gone? I'm sorry. That world has gone. Respect for the British royal family and the monarch's constitutional rights to be head of states is no longer a given. Support for it is at an all-time low. It's fragile. I guarantee you the Sussexes can't do anything but make it better. They're certainly not going to make it worse. And then she says Islam is now the second largest religion in Australia. Why should Muslim communities honor the royal family constitutionally linked to the Church of England? Did she not see the Sussexes in Jordan? Did she not see how well received Harry and Meghan were when they went to Jordan? I suppose she didn't. So the arrival of 2 non-working royals will infuriate Republicans and further focus their arguments, especially among Generation Z, who cannot see the point of bowing and scraping to what they view as an antiquated concept of inheritance, wealth, and privilege bestowed on people who live a half a world away. As Australian journalist Tom Sykes wrote on his Substack, oh God, that's where she got this from. The royalists, after the announcement of Harry and Meghan's not royal tour, the couple are likely to stir up affection, but not a bonfire of resentment. The couple are likely to not stir affection, but a bonfire of resentment. He's right, because if there is one thing I know about Aussies, we bow to no one. This is a silly article. She really is speaking about Charles and William. None of that stuff has anything to do with Harry and Meghan. They're not going on any of those traditional. Harry and Meghan have their own way of doing a tour. Even when they were doing it for the crown, their engagements with people was very different from Charles and Camilla and William and Kate. They have a whole nother approach. First of all, Harry, how can you go wrong if the whole point of your trip is mental health, okay, and veterans? And then for Meghan, anyone who is going to that retreat is someone who is pro women rights, a feminist, someone who is going to look up to Meghan. So I don't get where would the resentment come from? They're not there to go and meet with the prime minister. They're not there to do anything official for the British government. They're not going to the parliament. None of that stuff applies to them. So this is much to do about nothing. It does not in any way reflect what they're doing on their visit. None. None at all. And I guarantee you, they could have made the same case about Colombia, and they tried to. They could have made the same case about Nigeria, and they tried, and just about any place else that they've gone. How people are not going to relate to them. And yet, there's always this fever pitch of excitement every place they go. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with that. Silly. Yeah, no brain cells. Leg says they want to project the royals onto Harry and Meghan so they get the flack of negativity of the royal family, yet at the same time shade Harry and Meghan because they're not part of the royal family. Yes, I agree. I agree. They're going to try to leverage all of that heaviness onto them when none of this has anything to do with them. They are not the head of state. They're not the future head of state. It does not apply to them. Heather Stroud, I fear that that's pretty much everywhere in the Western world. Most churches are empty, at least the old traditional churches, they're empty. A lot of the historic churches, I mean, there's so many churches around Chicago, these beautiful ornate buildings that have been converted into condominiums. I can think of maybe about 5 of them right off the top of my head. So, you know, in the Western world, religion has kind of given way to spirituality. People are like, "Oh, I'm not really religious, but I'm spiritual." So, yeah. Wait, so why do these percentages apply to Harry and Meghan? Because they're not. Yes, yes, legs. They are not royals, as she say. If they are considered celebrities, why write this at all? This is nothing to do with that family. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. That is so true. That's why I say it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. This is stuff to do with those other people. It has nothing to do with the Sussexes. And now we know better what their visit is about. Like, for instance, she knew about a podcast, but she didn't know about the retreat. That retreat is 3 days. That's 3 days. Yeah, that retreat is 3 days. How can you be born in a family and leave to live your life? You no longer a part of the family. You become a ex. Is a cult or mafia. The bloodlines is still there. Very true. Very true. Mm, let me see. The Sussexes are hugely popular here because of who they are, not because of that awful family. Unlike Charles and Camilla, when police had to confiscate the eggs. I remember that. I remember that. The police had to confiscate the eggs people brought to throw. Oh, yes, I forgot about that, but you're right. I remember now. Yes, they had to confiscate the eggs lest people would get a chance to clock them with it. Um, there you go. Eggs a la king. I think I had made this for the trip to Australia, right? Eggs a la king. Oh, I tell you, I love making my thumbnails. Poor Charles. Eggs over easy. Crack. Oh, God, Camilla. Camilla, I just been hit with an egg. It hasn't even been boiled for 3 minutes. Oh, God, they've ruined a perfectly good suit. Camilla, Camilla. Okay. Uh, don't forget something sweet to share. Again, something sweet to share. Megan has another meal deal, not a meal deal, but anyway, if you are so inclined, Megan has an offer. I mentioned it earlier. Megan has an offer for you. Hold on a second. Let me make sure I got that. Want to get this right. And it's an offer you can't refuse. So, as we celebrate Women's History Month, we kept something special up our sleeve. For a limited time, while supplies last, enjoy a complimentary as ever X Compartes chocolate bar with order of $150 or more. Yes, the same specialty bar that tends to disappear quickly. Each order will include one bar selected from our assortment. You may receive a decadent dark chocolate layered with raspberry jam, creamy white chocolate finished with flour sprinkles, or milk chocolate with buttery shortbread cookie crumble. The flavor will be a surprise, but each one is made to feel a little special, something to enjoy yourself or to share with someone you love. A small gesture of sweetness as we celebrate the women who have brightened our lives. So, that is the offer that's made. If you spend $150 or more on the As Ever website, you can get a free decadent chocolate bar. God bless as ever. Now, Prince Harry left Jordan just in time. Prince Harry left Jordan just in time. Zatari made global headlines. Then the region escalated. Now, that Zatari, that was the place they visited. Um, I was standing in an airport at Armand wondering if I would have made it home or if I might be forced to stay near or not so near yet intensifying conflict. Departure boards flickering with delays, phones buzzed with alerts. Then announcements came over the loudspeaker. Attention passengers, due to regional security concerns, departures may be delayed. Please remain near your gate and monitor the boards for updates. For a brief moment, I felt something many people in this region know far too well: uncertainty, the possibility, however temporary, of being separated from family, from home, from the rhythm of a normal life. In my case, it lasted minutes or maybe an hour. But even imagining that disruption was enough to stop me cold because displacement is not theoretical across Jordan and Syria. It is lived. For the young people and families we work with, that uncertainty has stretched not for hours, but for years. Homes left behind, borders crossed, childhoods disrupted. Working in this space, you study these realities constantly. You see the pattern, the stories of statistics, the occasionally, that is, a moment pulls the experience closer than expected. Just 3 days earlier, the atmosphere had felt very different. I had been walking through Zatari refugee camp in northern Jordan. Morning sunlight over the desert, students gathering outside, learning spaces, teenagers joking with friends before the day's program began. The news arrived that Prince Harry and Meghan had come to visit the camp. The visit was brief but powerful. It brought global headlines to a place that has quietly carried the weight of displacement for more than a decade. Zatari is often described through numbers, population figures, humanitarian statistics, program outputs, but those numbers never captured the work actually, I've never captured what the work actually looks like. The work begins with listening. The work is classrooms where students reconnect with learning after years outside the educational system. It is mentors, counselors, and creative programs that help young people rebuild confidence and emotional strength. It is local educators, artists, and leaders grounded in real needs. It is partnerships with trusted organizations across the region, including the Syrian Society for Social Development and the Elite Family Organization, working together to expand opportunities for displaced youth and families. I am grateful that the royal visit helped the world to see that work. And then just days later, the headline shifted again. On February 28th, the United States and Israel launched a coordinated strike across Iran, hitting missiles and military sites within hours. Iran fired back, putting much of the Middle East on high alert. Suddenly, the region felt a little smaller. Zatari sits on the northern Jordan near Syrian border. Iran, where the strikes occurred, is roughly 1,600 kilometers away, about the distance from New York to Miami. On a map, that distance looks wide, but conflict rarely stays contained to where it begins. Missile debris can travel across borders, air quality can shift, armed groups test boundaries. For communities already rebuilding their lives, those risks are never theoretical. And of course, airspace restrictions, restrictions that nearly kept me from returning home to my own family. For many families across the region, that uncertainty isn't temporary, and yet work continues. Questscope and our partners remain present across Jordan, showing up daily to support young people, strengthen communities, and do what we know how to do best: put the last first. Moments like these remind us that commitment matters. If you believe in this work that listens first and stays present, that keeps doors open to learning and healing even in uncertain times, I invite you to stand with us. And it says here, your support helps keep classrooms open, mentors present, and opportunities within reach for young people rebuilding their futures. Well, didn't I just say that? Harry and Meghan got out just in time. I mean, they were just there. And on the 28th of February, all hell broke loose. All hell broke loose. But I tell you, um, the attention that they brought to these places, I hope it really makes a big difference for a long period of time. I mean, it's already made a difference. If it wasn't for Harry and Meghan, we wouldn't have known these places even exist. And they were risking a lot by going there, not physically risking, but in terms of their reputation, the future of their um, work, not just philanthropic work, but their production work. These are some very, very touchy things. And any position that seems to go against the grain can cause problems. And take it from me, a person who talks for a living, it is so easy to have a misstep. So um, I said a long time ago, Harry and Meghan are not hiding behind walls. They are going to take some risk, and sometimes that stuff is going to make people uncomfortable. Sometimes that's going to put them at odds with people, but they are driven by their work, their platforms for women, for mental health, for mothers, children, um, soldiers, whatever. That is where they take their message. That is where they listen to people. That is where they try to connect and help. And you can't do that if you're hiding behind walls. I never thought they were going to do that. And you have to accept that they are not going to risk everything that they have, but they do take certain amount of risk by stepping up and doing the work. So that shows you the quality of people that they are. Because Harry speaking up about the lack of resources for Gaza. Oh my God. I took a deep breath. I'm like, because you know what's happening. You know that could have ended very badly. But he said it. And fortunately, it did not, you know, cause problems. Also, when he spoke out about the veterans, about the British military, when Donald Trump said those things about them, And Harry didn't hesitate. He said exactly what he meant, and he meant what he said. And of course, that's another one of those situations where you take a deep breath and you're just like, okay, what's going to happen next? But sometimes you can't worry about what's going to happen next. You have to worry about what's happening right now. And so that was just one of those things where he just had to say how he felt. And I applaud him for that. I mean, he really put his neck out there at that time. Now, he may not think of it that way, but I think of it that way. But yeah, they, and for Harry, he went to Ukraine twice. He went to Ukraine twice. That's two times that Harry went to a war zone. When Joe Biden went to Ukraine, he couldn't even fly in there. He took a train just like Harry did. What they do is they have you take a train because in these war zones, there are a lot of misfires. You remember that one airliner that got shot down over Ukraine, a perfectly functional passenger plane shot out the sky. Oh, thank you. Universal service. So, yeah. And believe me, those left behind royals are uber jealous. Oh, they're so jealous. Jealous. Not that that was the point of it. Harry and Meghan were just doing what they do. Now, I didn't mention this one right here, celebrating International Women's Day. Um, they actually have a list of places if you want to help. International Women's Day is a day we celebrate women's strength, resilience, and achievement. While the day recognizes women around the world, meaningful change often starts closer to our own homes. Sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is show up for the women in our own communities. At Archwell, what is it? Philanthropics, Archwell Philanthropics. We're proud to uplift organizations that provide safety, housing, and critical support for women rebuilding their lives. Through years, we've been honored to support shelters and programs that offer stability, dignity, and opportunity to women and families who need it the most. And there they have a list of places: Harvest Home, Downtown Women's Center. What is that? Genesee Center, Transitional, Transition House, Genesis Women's Shelter and Support, Justice for Girls. Anyway, there's a list of places. Easiest thing for you to do is to just go to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex website. Yeah, well, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to give you the link to their webpage. So if you want to look over those places, if you think you may be able to help, I will give you the link to their website. And here you go. There's that. And what else do I need to do? Oh, I need to pin that to the top of the chat, don't I? There you go. Oh, yeah. Chef Jose Andreas, World Central Kitchen. Don't see that listed there. But yeah, that's another good one. World Central Kitchen. They always need help. You know, it wouldn't hurt for all of us to send a little something once a month. It would definitely help. Send a little something once a month. Now, we're going to end with this. Oh, actually, um, oh, I got a couple more things. Never mind. I got a couple more things after this, but we're almost there. We are almost there. Now, remember, I was saying that it's just about the end of the monarchy, right?
Family are as unpopular as ever. I was on Jeremy. The royal family are as unpopular as ever. I was on Jeremy Ryan a couple of weeks ago, and I was talking about how unpopular the royal family is, and how maybe they need to come up with a new plan for how they show up in the country, because the everyday person, even the monarchist, the right-centered, everyday working class British and the right nationalist individual, is not particularly inspired by them. Yesterday was Commonwealth Day, I believe, and the royal family were in attendance in Westminster Abbey. Unfortunately, I had to go there for a meeting, so I found that out by trying to park. And the weirdest thing humanly possible was there just was no people. There was lots of police, lots of barricades, lots of roads closed, but no people. The only people that I saw were anti-monarchy protesters, people who are saying down with the crown and all these types of things, were the only people that I saw. Is this the end of the royal family in this country? Is this the beginning of the end of the royal family? Where is the fandom? Where is the mystique? Where is the joy and the mysticism associated with the royal family? And how do they save it, if at all? The royal family are as unpopular as ever. I was on Jeremy Ryan a couple of weeks ago, and I was talking.
Okay. So, they had some tight camera angles um, for the few people that covered it. Um, but we couldn't be 100% certain what it looked like. They never have any like views from, let's say, a drone, one of those drone camera views. So we don't know what it looks like from a distance. But what we do know is that there seem to be a lot of hollow, empty spaces. Now, I was willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe that was just that camera angle. But here you have one of the frequent panelists from the Jeremy Vine show who says that it was very, very empty. That area outside of Westminster Abbey was, compared to other years, was very sparsely populated. The royal family is in trouble. They keep talking about Harry and Meghan's popularity, but they never talk about their own. I promise you, whatever they get in terms of support from the public, it's not the Queen Elizabeth level. Queen Elizabeth was in the 80s and 90% range. Will and Kate are usually in the high 60s or low 70s. I wouldn't call that a victory. I would not call that a victory. If you're not doing just as well as Queen Elizabeth, you're not really there. They only get the type of points that they get because of the hate campaign. That's it. Because of the hate campaign against Harry and Meghan. The public loves choice, Coke or Pepsi, right? And so if you're telling people that the Sussexes are not royals, but yet you keep adding them to this poll, what do you think the reaction is going to be? If you keep telling the people that they're not working royals, why are they even listed there? Because those are emotional support polls. The whole point of those polls is to create the illusion of choice. They're asking people to choose a side, and they are appealing to the very tribal instincts that we all have. And so, of course, people are going to choose, more likely to choose Will and Kate, because they're told that everything they do is for the greatness of Great Britain, that all Kate cares about is children, that all William cares about is being a future king. And Harry and Meghan, they went to Hollywood to make money. Everything they do is about money. They wrote a book about money, not as a way to retort, not as a way to refute some of the lies that have been told about them. No, it was just purely about the money. They just want the money. So, yeah, I can believe that a lot of people are against them, but I don't believe those numbers that they have put out. I don't believe that. I believe that more people are supportive of the Sussexes than against the Sussexes. So I don't buy it. I believe they're very selective about their polls, and their polls are designed not only for the preservation of the royal family, for the monarchy, but is also designed to encourage those lazy, good for nothing Waleses, because they need all the encouragement they can get. They need to believe that they're doing a proper job. And also, it is for the whole of the royal family just to remind the public that they have a place. Otherwise, if they ever really reflected the polls the way that they should, that most people don't give a tinker's damn about the royal family, it could be the end of the monarchy. You know, we always hear end of the monarchy, and I'm just like, what are the chances? I think the chances are pretty good now. The world is seeing another war. The fuel prices have jumped through the roof at this point. And then you got these people living this lavish lifestyle for the benefit of no one but themselves. I'm sorry, but they're going to lose. They're on the losing end of things. That lot right there, they're going to lose. The monarchy has to evolve if they want to modernize, but they don't want to give up any perks or anything. Modern people don't have an appreciation for the aristocracy. You have to earn approval. Yeah, more people respect the way the Kardashians made their money than would ever have any respect for that royal family. You could not explain to Americans that whole thing about the sovereign grant. If Americans knew how the sovereign grant worked, I bet you they would definitely change their approval of the monarchy. But a lot of people just think, oh, well, they've always had money. But where did the money come from? Where did the money come from? Yeah, they're in trouble. Let's see, World Central Kitchen on the war front. Yeah, and some of those, remember, some of the World Central Kitchen people lost their lives in Gaza. They were targeted and eliminated. Remember that? They were targeted. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't the fog of war. They went after them. Past their use by date. I like that. So, Kate Middleton and Prince William joined King Charles at biggest royal gathering since ex-Prince Andrew's arrest. The Prince and Princess of Wales attended the annual Commonwealth Day service at Westminster Abbey on March 9, alongside ex-Spice Girl Jerry Halliwell. Is that Horner? Ooh, the ex-Spice Girl. What about the other Spice Girl? The one in red, Old Spice. I mean, Camilla. Anyway, oh my goodness, what did I do here? Yeah, that other Spice Girl, Old Spice, also known as Camilla the Queen Consort. I know that does sound a bit redundant, doesn't it? Oh, yeah. And Prince Albert of Monaco was there. His wife wasn't there, but he was there for some odd reason. Okay. At Westminster Abbey, you know, I keep wondering, why do people say Westminster? It's Westminster. And that guy said Westminster. And he's not the only one. I keep hearing people say that. And it really confuses me because if you're British, you should know it's Westminster. That's it. Minster. It's not minister, it's Minster. But I hear a lot of people say Westminster Abbey. I'm like, it's Minster. Minster. Anyway, at Westminster Abbey, I'm just kidding. At Westminster Abbey on March the 9th, anti-monarchy protesters gathered outside the service with signs alluding to Andrew's scandal. Some held letters that spelled out, "What did you know? What did you know?" While another read, "Charles, what are you hiding?" The 1,800 strong congregation at the Commonwealth Day service heard an address from former Spice Girl Jerry Halliwell Horner, who is a Royal Commonwealth Society ambassador, while dancers Odie Mabuse gave a reflection. There was also a poem by Selena Tusitala Marsh, the inaugural Commonwealth Poet Laureate. Oh, okay, that was nice. There was also the world premiere of Commonwealth Symphony, composed by Rakesh Chow something. Anyway, but yeah, they were protested. I'm sorry, maybe I'm looking at the wrong article, but I wanted to hear some more shade and dirt about the protests. Don't look like they have much here. Never mind. Never mind. I was here for the dirt. I was here for the trashing of the family, not for all that. Saw that already. And as I said before, this video, I mentioned this earlier today, this video, I want you to notice it was posted by Westminster Abbey. And when they posted it, at some point they took the sound away. They said this audio is no longer available. Why remove the audio? What is it about the audio that they found so upsetting? What was so jarring in that audio that they figured, oh, we can't leave this? Huh? It must have been something in that audio. I don't know what it was. Why would they take the audio away? Oh, I think I know why. That's why they took the audio away, because they did not want that in there. And they probably didn't want this either. Let me see. Edwina is MIA. Thank you for the super chat. Do you think something is wrong with him? Do you think something is wrong with Edwina? Because there's so many times when Edwina just disappears. And I was wondering if there was something wrong with Edwina. Oh, well. I know. They forget that most people get their news from social media. So we don't need to go to the Westminster Abbey website or Instagram. We don't need it because there's too many other ways to get that information. Well, you guys, we may be very well seeing the last days of the royal family.
A non-basketball question. Did you get a chance to meet with the royal family? And if not, how was it like having them there in the building?
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph?
The Prince and Princess of Wales.
Oh, no, I did not. I'm only familiar with one royal family. I don't know too much about that one.
A non-basketball question. Did you get
I love this guy. How come he's not
a
president?
non-basketball question? Did you get a chance to meet with the royal family? And if not, how was it like having them there in the building?
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph?
The Prince and Princess of Wales.
Oh, no, I did not. I'm only familiar with one royal family. I don't know too much about that one.
A non-basketball question. Did you get
Okay, you guys, that is it for now. I am going to play that video from earlier, and then I'm going to say goodnight to you all. Thank you so much for coming back. And again, we look forward to Harry and Meghan in Australia. It's going to be exciting. Remember, Prince Harry has his own itinerary. He's got this event coming up before Meghan's, the 15th and the 16th, the Psychosocial Workplace Summit, Safety Summit. So that's going to be his thing. And then Meghan will have her stuff. But, I'm going to talk about it some more before the event. So worry not. Also, the chocolate bars, that's the video that I'm going to play, is the one for the chocolate bars. I remade it. I made the image a little bigger and easier to see. So you can stay for that or not. But anyway, we're done. Thank you, moderators, for keeping this a safe space. And Hazel, Legs, we're going to have to do a members only soon. I feel like we are just way overdue for that. We got to get some good gossip in. So, let me see. Oh, there it is. Okay, so let me know what you think. I did a do-over for this video, and I will see you all next time. Love you guys.
birthday. Can I receive them?